Good morning. How's everybody this morning? Ow, hurt. Um, I'm back this morning. Yesterday was tough. I felt so much better after I meditated. Uh, but I think, this has been so good for me, and it's kept me just in this really different headspace. So I think my brain has to catch up with my body. So sometimes I guess that's what happens when you shift and you shift your energy. Um, Sometimes your story has to change, and then you have to catch up with the rest of that story. uh, so just yeah, yesterday was really tough. I'm becoming aware of that, and maybe that's something that you guys can use too. Is becoming aware of when you start to shift that energy, how life starts to respond to you, and then how you respond to that story. And are you going to keep the old story, or are you going to move on with the new one? So I guess today I'm going to move on with the new one, which means I've got a lot to say because there's a lot in my head that I just I don't know, didn't know how to categorize, didn't know what to say, didn't know how to share it with everybody. And also, I'm very passionate about my work, and I want to help as many people as I can. But I don't like selling things, and I'm not salesy. So I feel like every time I talk about my work or what I can do or how I can help you, I feel like I'm going into some kind of sales pitch, and I just try to avoid that as much as I can. So, um, but I know that it's necessary, and I know that passion is a good thing. And seeing there's things on my bed here that I didn't clean off. um, yeah. So I am Amanda Wallace. I guess I've never really told you guys my age. Some of you know my age. I love to say that I am 41 with 37, or sorry, that's wrong, 37 with 41 years of life experience. And it's not added together. It's just that everybody thinks that I'm younger than I am. Um, Part of what I do, part of who I am, part of my work, part of what I would love to share with the women that, or what I do share with the women that I work with, and men too. It's not just about men and or working with just women. It's just that women have different bodies than men, and you'll hear me say this a lot because it's what I'm passionate about. Um, we are just different, and so much of science and so much of fitness and lifestyle programs are developed around men, and that's great and that's awesome, and I'm glad that that exists. But it's time for another voice. And so yeah, you'll probably hear me talk about that a lot. And what was my point? I had a point. um Anyways, that's what I'm passionate about. That's what I um love to talk about, and also just shifting and mindset and meditation. And that's why I'm here with you guys this morning. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. So my age, which is probably something I'm sure that I'll talk about at some point if you guys stick with me, or I might just make a different video about it, because these videos series is supposed to all be about mindset shifting and meditation. And so I might just make a different video about it. But oh hi. Yes. I have a kitten here, and she's just coming into heat, so she's needing a lot of extra attention right now. Um so let's get on to today's topic, because yeah, yesterday was so difficult. So I'm back. But I did show up yesterday because I knew that I needed to. I knew that somebody somebody needed me to show up and somebody needed to hear what I had to say. And I'm glad that I did. So, one of the fears that I'm having is that you'll hear me say the same thing over and over, and then you'll just get tired of listening to me. So, if that's a legitimate fear that I have, then maybe just share the meditation and mindset page and invite as many people as you can. And make sure that you subscribe to this Facebook page to Amanda Wallace, or channel to Amanda Wallace, and make sure that you let as many people know that I'm doing this that you think might be interested, because apparently I'm scared that you'll get bored of me. That's really something I was struggling with this morning. Uh, but I don't know, it helps to talk about it, I guess. But do subscribe, please subscribe. That helps me know that my message is getting out there, know that people are listening. And if you want to interact with me at all, please message me on Facebook. I always answer my messages on the mindset and meditation page. If you have any questions or if there's anything specific that you want me to talk about or address, you can also message me privately. You don't have to do it on the page if you want, and I don't have to name your names. Yes, I think that's everything. But yes, please interact, because I want to interact with you guys. I want to know what's up, and I want to know how I can best serve and how I can best help you. And this cat is crazy. Have you guys ever owned a crazy cat? Because this one she's sweet and she's quiet and she's adorable, but let's just say I'm really glad that I didn't pay anything for my curtains. Okay, so let's see. How are you guys doing with asking the question and deleting and destorying? So sometimes you really need to delete and destory, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will give you a brief overview here, but you might want to go back over the videos and see what it is I'm talking about. But sometimes you need to delete and destory more than once before that feeling lightens up, and it's and it's feeling more normal. Oh, don't go on your kitty. I need a fresh piece of paper so that I can talk to everybody. Yes, kidding. Okay, so you guys might hear the cat. She's in heat right now, and she's letting us know that. So yeah, I introduced myself and I told you kind of what I do. I guess I could say that I'm a health coach and massage therapist, and I love helping everybody that wants to know about how to become healthier and fitter and younger and more vital, and lose weight, if that's what you want to know about. But I focus just on women's issues because there's just not enough of a voice for that yet. So that's me. That's what I do. You would think that by the fourth video I'd be a lot more organized, but clearly I'm not. I had so many thoughts, and then every time, like, I actually do get stuff ready before I go on these lives, but it's like every time I go to get stuff ready, it's like I lose the page, and I don't know how that's even possible, because I literally laid out all the pages that I would need today. So that's fun. So let's talk about faith. Yeah, I guess we kind of did that yesterday. Let's talk about faith being the substance of things hoped for, not yet seen. So hang on to those ideas, hang on to what you're creating. Because sometimes we get lost in the feelings that we get stuck in, which is what we're going to talk about today, which is your default. What is your default setting? Hi. This poor cat. I feel so bad for her. So what is your default setting? Where do you automatically go when something gets you down or you get stuck? That the reason I'm asking you guys that is because it helps you to know what to delete and destory. So sometimes you don't always know, and that's okay. But if you want to dig into it a lot deeper, you can take the time to do that, and you can try to understand what is your default. Where do you go? What's the negative space that you go in your mind? So, and sometimes it's like it becomes a bit of a daily process sometimes because we all have crap that we want to get rid of. But the idea is that once you delete and you destory something, then you ask, how can it get any better than this? Then you start to feel lighter. That's the idea, anyways. Just pay attention to how does your body feel? How does your mind feel? What are your thoughts thinking? Does it feel lighter? Does it feel better? Does it feel like you can move on? If it doesn't feel lighter, then continue to dig into the story. Continue to dig into what it is you're believing that's holding you in that default setting. Okay, so for instance, like I told you guys yesterday about how I had a belief that I was being, that I felt like I was an obligation to people. Um, I'm not, just so you know. I have my own house and I have a car and I am actually a landlord as well. And so there's lots of things for me to take care of, and sometimes I ask for help, but I'm not an obligation to anybody. But then I dug deeper into that because I said I delete, destory, uncreate across all times, dimensions, spaces, and realities. Everywhere I bought and sold the lie that I am an obligation to somebody, and it didn't feel lighter. I was like, what's going on here? This doesn't feel like I released that at all. So that's when I knew to dig in a little bit deeper. Okay, why don't I feel like this is lightening up for me? What is behind this? Why do I still feel like that's not true for me? Oh, yeah, which is something I also want to share with you guys, truth testing. Maybe some of you guys know about truth testing, maybe some of you don't. Um, and it might be a little bit weird for you because there's a few methods of truth testing that um, some people might think is a bit witchy or a bit, uh, mm, yeah, woo woo or crazy, but but I'm already telling you to delete your energy, so you know it can't be that much farther down the rabbit hole. um, so yeah, okay, get back to my story, then I'll talk to you guys about truth testing. So why didn't it feel lighter? It just didn't. It just didn't. And I was like, okay, why? What's going on? And as I dug further into that story, I realized that I was believing that I needed to be somebody's responsibility in order to be taken care of. That comes from my old belief system, but that was like 6 years ago that I used to have a totally different life than I have now. Um, where I was married and I was married for a long time, and I played the traditional wife role. I did not do anything I wasn't supposed to do. Um, I did all of the things that wives were supposed to do, And that's how I was raised. I was raised to believe um, that I would be, I had all the skills to be good at being a wife, and that was about it. I'm not going to say that I didn't have a career, because I did. I did dance, and I did massage, and I still do massage. But anyways, I did have a bit of a career, but it was like it always kind of felt secretly like that wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to just be, playing, staying at home and playing it safe and doing the traditional wife thing. Um, so anyway, that's a belief that hit me last week, and I was just really overwhelmed by it. And yesterday, as you saw, it really was still very emotional for me, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still believing this from 6 years ago. So, case in point, just the point is that there's things that still come up every once in a while. There's still things that come up from our past that we have to deal with. So be brave enough to dig in and find the rest of that belief so that you can clear it. Because the truth is that I'm not an obligation to anybody. And the truth is that I am taken care of. I'm very well taken care of by, I would say, the universe, because sometimes I'm not really sure how I survive. um, but I get clients when I need clients, and I find work when I need work, and I have what I need. So I would say that I'm very well taken care of. So that's actually the truth. So it's okay to delete and destory that. And that's another, I guess, maybe point that I can bring up, is that I could have hung on to that belief and just, played the victim and made that story work really well for me, because I am single. Well, I'm in a relationship, but I am not married. I still take care of my house and my stuff, and it's still mine to deal with, mine to take care of. Um, and so, what was my point? I lost my point again. Um, yes. Oh, yes. That it is okay for me to be responsible for me, and but that's a story that I would be willing to, or need to be willing to change, because if I don't change that story, then I just stay stuck in my old one, I guess. But it's not working for me. So, anyways, that's why I'm asking, what is your default? Take some time today, if you can, to really look into that default. And if you need help looking into that default, you are more than welcome to contact me, and I can help you out. That's what I do as a coach. That's part of what I do, is look at the situation and ask you questions and help you figure out what it is you are um, you're struggling with. And that's why I'm good at what I do, because there's an intuition there that's part of my passion, which is to see people feeling inspired and see people feeling like they've overcome something. So yeah, yesterday, like I said, was tough for me, and you guys saw that I am doing my best to be vulnerable and to be real about where I'm at, because even though I feel like I have tools that help you and help me overcome my stuff, there's still a mountain to climb. There's still something to overcome. And so I want to be real and vulnerable about that, because I did my work, I did my stuff, I pushed in and found the point where I needed to change. And then here I am back again this morning with all of the life that I had last week. So it is possible. It does help. It does. Deleting and destorying and then asking the question does help. So why do we ask the question? I think I've already covered this, but I feel like it's important to cover this again. Why do we ask the question? basically so that we don't stay in our own judgment of the situation, so that we don't stay in our own construct that we've created, because it's the construct and the judgment of the situation or of the feeling or of whatever it is we're going through, of the circumstance, that keeps us stuck. It's not the actual feeling, it's not the actual person, it's not the actual circumstance that we're going through or the actual experience. You know, like some of us love to get mad at the people or the experience or the things, but it's actually our judgment and how we've created that construct that keeps us stuck. So that's why it's so important to ask the question. And the question being, what can I see that I didn't see about this before? What's right about this situation that I'm not getting yet? What else is possible here? How can it get any better than this? Not meaning in a sarcastic asshole way. Oh, great, it's just gonna get worse. But like, how can it actually get better than this? Um, I know I struggled with that when I first heard the saying. I was like, that question, I was like, yeah, okay, like it's gonna get better. But yeah, how can it get any better than this? With an expectation that it's actually going to get better. Um, anyway, the questions like that really help. What can I create this situation as? What can I create my relationship with this person as? That's a tricky one for a lot of us because we if we're relationship people, um and I'm not just talking about romantic relationships, I'm talking about any kind of relationships. If we have people that we have relationships with and they rub us the wrong way, we are probably going to get we're probably going to judge the situation. We're probably going to judge the situation based on how we feel. We're probably going to judge the situation based on how what we want to feel and our thoughts and our feelings and our actions. I know, baby. I know. Life is tough when you're a kid going through stuff. I know you're okay. You're okay. So we're probably going to judge. So instead of going into that default, instead of going into that loop of judgment, try asking, what can I create this situation as? It's not easy. It's not easy because we are so good at deciding that that must be what the other person is thinking and that must be what the other person is doing and that must be we're so good at deciding the situation. But there's probably something that you're missing. There's probably something that you didn't see. So instead of creating judgment around it, try asking, what can I create here? What can I create in my relationship with blank as? Just try asking. Until the stuff goes away, I can't tell you the number of times that I've gotten out of my construct, and I swear it's the weirdest thing, but if I will be in the middle of an argument with somebody or upset with somebody, yeah, and it happens because I'm not perfect. Um, but I refuse to lash out. So I just keep asking, what can I create with what can I create in this relationship, or what can I create this relationship with this person as? What can I create? Your tail is wet. I think somebody was playing in the toilet. I think it was clean. That could be a problem. Anyways, I see that, we're at 24 after. I feel like I kind of just, got my point across, but also said a whole bunch of things. So I am going to be probably making a couple extra videos this week for you guys to watch at your leisure if you want, about different topics that I believe very strongly about because I feel like it's cluttering my thoughts. So let's meditate because I do really love doing that with you guys. It's super fun for me to help everyone to think about what things feel like instead of what they look like. Um, which I guess I could talk about for a minute. So when I meditate, and I've noticed some other people doing this lately too. I know, little girl. I've noticed some other teachers and healers doing this lately as well. It used to be like, um, think exactly what you want. Think about hold the picture in your mind. And the truth is, for a lot of us, that's freaking difficult. Like, we are so bombarded every day with so many images and pictures. I mean, how much screen time do most of us have? I know I have a lot of screen time. And sometimes the pictures just get really jumbled or they don't stay. And you're so confused. And you're like, seriously? I'm trying to meditate here. Can you work with me, brain? So sometimes that happens. So meditating with the feeling literally creates the image like so much clearer and so much faster. And if you guys have meditated with me before, you know that I meditate quickly because once I get the feeling and I hold it and I do my process with it, then that's when I feel grounded. That's when I feel centered. That's when I feel like I connected. And that's the whole point, is to connect to love, to connect to gratitude, to connect to truth, to connect to your source, to connect to those higher vibrations that allow you to create a different perspective and allow you to see a different perspective than what you could see before. Poor kitty. It's got to be tough. I know. I don't think she's in pain, but I don't know. If any of you know if cats are in pain when they're in heat, just maybe message me about that because I am seriously worried. I think she's almost old enough now. I know. I know. I think she's almost old enough now to be to get fixed. But anyways. Okay, let's meditate. Take my shoes off. Okay. Yes. Just getting some music. Okay, I just saw the time and I'm supposed to actually be on a call right away. So we are going to meditate fast and catch what we need to catch and bring our vibrations up. And I know kitten. Okay, so let's just close our eyes. And find your energy inside of you. Take a deep breath. And send your energy down to the earth, to the middle of the earth. And bring your energy up. Take another deep breath. And send your energy up to the universe, to connect with source. And pull that back down into your body. And I just want you to think about your heart space. And start to gather in the feelings of what it would feel like to have your ideal life. What would it feel like to just know what your next move is, what your next step is? What would it feel like to just be in the energy of the now? What would it feel like to create? What would it feel like to serve the people that you came here to serve? And to live your purpose? What would that feel like? What would that look like? Another deep breath in and out. And I'll invite you guys to open your eyes and to come back here with me. If you want, you see how easy it is to just go in to that space. It's so much easier when you focus on feelings. When your heart and your mind are connected, you can focus on your feelings and you can just go back into that space anytime. Make sure that you smile, make sure that you connect to those higher vibrations. I'm supposed to be on another call right now, so I am going to say goodbye and post this all later. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And please let me know in the comments or on Facebook if there's anything that's manifested for you once you started asking the question, what's changed in your life? What's changed with your judgment? What's changed with your perception once you started asking, um, how can it get any better than this? Or whatever question you decide to ask. Okay. Yes, Katie. Poor girl. Okay. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning around the same time. Hopefully earlier. Hopefully I get my poop in a group a little earlier. And I will talk to you later. Okay.